up. Look at this. Beautiful bay, absolutely beautiful. We are all out of seafood at home at the moment, and it's been a week or so since creating space, and sort of all my seafood for the last few dives have gone to creating space, so I'm out here to restock our pantry. We'll go out around the corner there, get into it. G'day everyone, and welcome back to another video. I was super excited to be in this location. I haven't been here for ages, and the access has actually been closed off for a while, so it's just reopened a couple of months ago. So yeah, I was just stoked to be able to get out here and enjoy this beautiful, beautiful place, and as a bonus, try and get a feed to take home as well. Yeah, got the kayak all loaded up and dragged it down the track, and before too long was putting it in the water. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Alright, we're off. I'm in my 7mm suit now. It's July, the water's cold, and the 5mm just wasn't quite cutting it. I'm a bit of a cold wussy, and I actually believe that if you're more comfortable in the water, you'll dive better. So I switched to the 7mm so I can be more comfortable. So we're going to paddle out around this point over here, get outside of the Rahui zone, and hop in the water. I really love this bit of coastline, and I'm super happy to be able to come back out here now with the access opening up. I've really missed the place, eh? Alright, I think this might be our first spot. I've actually never dived here before, but I feel like exploring a little bit of new ground, so I'm gonna hop in here and have a bit of a squiz around, set a burley for a snapper, and yeah, see what shows up. As soon as I got in the water, I saw a couple of snapper chilling out on the bottom. So yeah, just went to the nearest ledge, smashed some kinner up in the hope that they'd come in and investigate. So I went away, had a little bit of a look around, but probably only for about 5 minutes, and came back to check the kinner. Dived down a bit before the ledge, and then just slow, careful approach up to the ledge here. And just peer over, and sure enough, that snapper's come straight in on it. I'm sinking down to line them up, and there's another one here that's kind of spooks and takes off, so I take a quick shot at my one, and I actually hit it and it rips off. Gosh darn it. So I moved on and I set another kinner burley further along the ledge, and then went off and did a little bit of snooping, and I was down peering over this ledge when this silver drummer came in, so I took the opportunity to shoot it because I knew I wanted it for a burley later on. Alright, back to check the burley, and I'd looked over the ledge where I'd set the burley, and I kind of realised I'd put it in the wrong place and couldn't sneak up on it without the fish getting onto me. I needed to come down the long way, so this was actually a gutter off to the side of the burley, and I sunk down into this gutter and then made my way along it and then slowly around the corner. And because this was my first time approaching this way, I wasn't entirely sure where the burley was, so just took a really slow approach. I can kind of just see the start of it here and realise it's just over this little mound here, so poke my head over and kind of start having a look around. I don't see a lot, but just take my time just in case there's something lurking around. And all I'm really seeing is one small snapper on it, or one small snapper that's worth taking, I should say. So I decide it's the only one there and close the gap on it, reach out and take a shot. And yeah, pretty much ripped straight off. I was not happy.
Oh, bugger! Well, I managed to totally that spot up and shot two snapper, and they both ripped off, which was really gutting to me. It's like the worst outcome. I'd rather miss them than shoot them and have them riff off, but oh, it is what it is, I suppose. Can't do anything about it now. But yeah, gonna try another spot. I've got the drummer I shot earlier. I'm gonna put that down as a burley, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more success here.
So yeah, basically as soon as I got in the water here, I found a pretty good spot to put this drummer and just lay on the surface, chunked it up a bit. And wedged it in a gutter and put a rock on it so that the fish were less likely to move it. Grabbed this kinner as well just to break up, just to increase the burley trail. And so I actually set another burley as well, and then went off and snooped for a while. And I thought I was onto something here. I came over and I saw snapper shape, but then on closer investigation I realised it was actually a poroi, and I'm not a big fan of eating them, so left it alone. Came back, and this was actually the second burley that I'd set. There was another drummer, and dropped down. And yeah, as I got to the ledge, I had this snapper come and have a look at me. Saw me and then turned and left. I didn't really have a chance to get a shot off at him, but anyway, I carried on and peered over the ledge, and yeah, had a pretty decent snapper on this one. And he was head down, had no idea I was even there until I put a shot into him. And yeah, the shot was maybe a little bit higher than what I wanted, but yeah, went all the way through, and I was able to go down there, grab him, wrap my arms around him, take him to the surface. Yeah, I was pretty stoked. He was a pretty good snapper, this one. And right, back to check the first burley, and As I'm sinking down here, I hear a snapper spook. But yeah, carry on to the ledge anyway, just nice slow approach. And as I look over the ledge, I can see a couple of really decent snapper just leaving the scene. You can kind of just make them out here where I've zoomed in. So I stopped there and have a look around, and I realised that even though I'd wedged the burley in with a rock, they've actually moved it further down the gutter. So carefully back away and head back to the surface. I give it about 5 minutes or so, and then I come back. This time I dive down and move my way along the ledge a bit further to where I'd seen where they had the burley. So once I get to the ledge, I take my time and I have a look around. I can see the burley and I can see there's a couple of snapper on it, but I'm just checking, making sure there's not anything else kicking around. And yeah, I slowly work my way down onto it, and I'm looking at these snapper and they sort of start to spook a little, so I take a quick shot and get a shaft into this one. I know it's not that great a shot, it's a little higher than I'd like, so I let the fish run, and yeah, I head back to the surface to just gently pull the fish in, trying not to put too much pressure on it and let it rip out. Yeah, get it to me in the end and get the knife into it. I'm pretty happy because it's another pretty reasonable snapper.
Well, that was a little bit more successful. I've got a couple of nice snapper here. Yeah. First burley just had, like, there was a couple on it. One was off it, and he took off when he saw me, and the other one was sort of sitting right on it. But the second burley, oh my gosh, there was heaps of snapper there. And yeah, a little bit unfortunate, one spooked as I was dropping onto it. It was well above the burley and it took off, and it kind of alerted all the other ones to the fact I was there. So yeah, I still managed to pull this guy off, and it's still a, you know, nice eating size snapper, so I'm not that worried about it. But yeah, those burleys will be pretty much done now. I think I might move on to another spot, and yeah, at least the pressure's off. I've got a couple of fish on the board, and that's a fair bit, but we are heading somewhere midweek, and I'd like to be able to take some fish with me, so another couple would just like top it off perfectly.
So I set a couple of kinnerburleys as soon as I got in, and managed to pull this fish off the second one. In the meantime, my camera's battery went flat, so once it goes flat, it'll record for a few seconds and then shut off. So just got these couple of clips of this snapper, but this was another really nice snapper, probably around the 6 kilo mark.
Well, I guess it's time to head for home. That was quite a fun little session. I set a couple of kinnerburleys and just sort of explored for a little bit. Came back, checked the first one, had a really nice snapper on that, lined it up and totally missed it. I really haven't been shooting well today, but yeah, went on the second one, and yeah, my camera's battery had gone flat by then, but managed to pull this guy off the second burley. Yeah, quite a nice snapper. And yeah, I've just pulled a couple of smaller snapper off each burley as well. Just went and rechecked them, and yeah, I'm totally done. Got a quick feed of kinners as well, so probably going to munch them on the way back to the beach.
Well, as I'm heading home, I guess I should give you an update on where I'm at with the whole American trip. We went to Auckland for our visa appointments, and Aya's got her visa, no worries, but there's a little bit of a hold up on mine. I have some cannabis convictions in my past, and so I've had to apply for a waiver for that. So Aya's leaving very soon, and I'm going to be leaving for there when, fingers crossed, my visa comes through. So yeah, it's sort of a bit of a waiting game for me now, but that leaves me plenty of time to go out and enjoy this beautiful country we have here. So I've got some good missions planned, so follow along and I'll keep you updated. I'm sure I'm going to make it to the States before too long.
Alright, well, back on the beach and just sort of packing my gear up, but thought I'd better show you the catch. So these are the two bigger ones. They're a couple of nice snapper. Yeah, and in here I've got my other three. Just good eating size fish, you know, like plenty of meat on them. So that's me stocked up for a good few days now. Like I said before, we are doing a trip to Auckland, so there's a whole lot of fish that's going to go to family and friends down there. So I've taken a lot more than what I'd normally take, but yeah, anyway, I'm going to finish packing up and get out of here, and that's probably pretty much it. So yeah, I'll say thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video, guys. Cheers. Alright, thought I'd run you through how I break down my snapper and what I do with them to make the most out of them. So we got this lovely snapper I shot yesterday, and we will fillet this up. So I start, there's a scale there. I always sort of run my knife in under, then there's another big point here, and then I run forwards, and then I turn my knife on the side and run down the spine. I run all the way down until I'm almost at the tail, and then I poke my knife through, and take it the rest of the way. Then my preferred method is to stand the snapper up from here, and I'll just shave away the fillet off the snapper. Go over the ribs. And then I'm not too worried about getting it all off the gut section here, because that will all get done when I process the wings. So I've got a lovely fillet here now. I'll just skin the fillet. So I just run my knife flat along the underside of the fillet, taking the skin off. This is quite a big fillet. Any bigger than this, I'll probably break the fillet in half to skin it, because I probably should have done that with this one too. But yeah, take the skin off. Try and leave the fillet on the skin so it doesn't touch the board. That way we're not putting any bacteria that's on the board on the fish. Then I can just take these little bones out.
These are the pin bones. They sort of run down about halfway down the fillet. And this is the bony section. Now you can eat this. And a lot of people do. I don't usually worry about this. I've got eels down in my creek. They like to have something to eat as well, so that goes to them. And then for a fillet this size, I just break it up into manageable pieces. So I just cut this bit in half, and then same with this bit, I just cut it into manageable pieces, probably thirds for this one. Meat goes in the bin. Now I'm going to turn it over and do the same on the other side. Now we're left with our snapper frame. There's still plenty of meat on here that we can make use of. So the first thing I'll probably do is just take the guts out, split it up here, and take the guts out. Some people like to gut their fish out in the ocean. I tend to leave mine till I've taken the fillets off. It's a general rule. I think the minute you start cutting into the gut, you're starting to expose them to bacteria. But I think it's probably just a personal preference thing more than anything. Don't know if there's any wrong way or right way. So now we're just going to take this wing off as well while we're here. We'll take all the guts out, and I've gone and cut into them and made a mess. I try not to do that, but happens sometimes. I'll just clean that up. Alright, we'll take the other fillet off as well. Or the other fillet, the other wing. So in here, and it's all munched up, but there's a little thing that you've got to get under. And you just slide the knife forwards and it will cut and separate it from the head. Then it's just a case of cutting down these rib bones and pulling the thing off. Separate it from the gills and then cut it through down at the head. There we've got the other wing. Now, there is a little bit of meat left on this skeleton, but not a huge amount. This is another thing that I generally feed to the eels. But what you can also do is you can cut this into just bite-sized pieces and fry it, and then pick the meat off the bones. Or if you're a bit of an animal like me, you can just eat it raw. Doesn't taste too bad at all, and there's good meat on there. But in this case, I'm going to feed it to my eels. So now I just take the head off, and I basically just come down here and then find the bit in the spine where I can split the spine. And sometimes you have to break it just to help it along. And yeah, we're left with this little bit that'll go feed the eels. And now we're left with the head. Yeah, so now we're left with the head, and my preferred way of dealing with the head is to actually split it in half. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull the gills out of it, and they usually can be quite tough to get out, particularly on larger snapper. But yeah, I'll just take the gills out, and that's more food for the tuna or for the eels. And then I get the old trusty handsaw, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it right down the middle with the handsaw. I do this because my preferred way of eating the heads is to smoke them, and when you split it they smoke up quicker and easier. So yeah, I'm just going to get the handsaw and start cutting. And yeah, we just cut all the way through. And there you have it. So that's ready for getting a bit of salt, maybe a bit of sugar put on it. In the smoke, I tend to smoke the wings as well. Plenty of good meat on them, and they smoke up pretty nice as well. And yeah, that's pretty much how I use all my snapper. I could certainly take the meat off those bones and use that as well if I wanted. But yeah, with the eels in the creek, I like to give them a bit of a feed as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.